Ciao.
So good evening to you from the box of my apartment, the small box of my apartment. I wanted to offer some commentary on last Dialectica. That is, holy shit. The most commented a couple videos that have been uploaded to this channel since its conception, which is very cool. Very cool, very cool, very cool. You guys like the God topic. That's very clear. I would love to know why. I mean, there are so many things that could get similar divided issues, but the God thing, for some reason, it drives people nuts. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't I don't get it. You know, in my case, it's different for me because I don't think that atheists are going to hell. I don't think that really much would be I don't know, gained in I don't get any reward for converting anyone to theism or anything like that. So it's really just a logical sort of endeavor as to whether or not this is the way it really works. A lot like how a mathematician could be working with a formula that he might be able to convince someone that it's real, but in the end, it's really up to his own judgment on the matter to know if his work, being his equations and whatever else, are worth beans. And that's kind of the vantage point I come from. But anyway, as is the norm with this subject, whenever I talk about God, the masses do like to line up in opposition, and that's to be expected. However, there's been a lot of talk, so I wanted to offer some comments on that stuff. First off, people were mentioning what? Oh, that we got hooked up on an issue there at the end, as to what it is that allows physical matter to be predictable, which is to say, to remain lawful. Why is it that we can make scientific predictions and so on? What keeps it all intact? What maintains it? And you know, the way you find errors in a person's argument is to analyze the language that they're using, because every word that you use implies a certain function or process. And if you use words that imply certain functions that you don't have justification for using, then you found yourself an error. And it's really as simple as that. That's one of the reasons I don't like to talk in text comments, because there are many Stasis. I think I've mentioned this before. Or what I've been taught to call Stasis, which is you start an argument with a premise. Most people know that. But if you talk long enough, what tends to happen is you make arguments that assume additional premises that are unrelated to that original one. And every time you make, it's like if you go, say, down the highway and you make an exit, every time you make an exit from that original premise, or what was supported by that original premise, you have to justify not only the exit, but also justify the new premise. And oftentimes people omit that. And it can be very obnoxious, especially for someone like me who tries to train oneself to recognize that sort of stuff. When I read text comments, oh my God, it's really bad sometimes. A lot of you guys are very intelligent and you don't have that problem, but holy shit, it's like raking nails over my eyes. I can't stand it. I can't stand it because it's like, no, there's another one. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's really irritating, and that's why I do not like text comments. Another reason I don't like text comments is because it's very tedious to do what I do in text comics. Actually, I managed to piss off what's his name, Jeff, a few days before I made that response to him. I think that is at least part of the reason why he didn't offer a response, but I could be wrong. But I did manage to piss him off, and he was the first person in a very long time that I tried to have a text conversation with. That's just how it ends. Jeff is an intelligent person. He has an appreciation for language, and he's patient, but didn't help. So that's just how it works. If you really, like I say, if you really have burning questions, send me PMs. I'm pretty good about that. That if you take the initiative to actually write me a letter, then I'll feel obligated to reply to that for some reason. Probably old-fashionedness. Yes, I'm now at a point that I don't read all the comments. I really don't. I haven't been reading all the comments for a while. I adore and love you all, but no, I don't read all the comments. So if you want to really make sure I see something, you're going to have to send me a personal message, because I do read and reply to every one of those that I receive. Yes. Marvelous. And if you use language in a particularly profound way, I might even make a response to it. So some holiday plans. I'm going to be in San Francisco for the holidays. And I say that, but I have to put one of those asterisks next to it, because I'll be there with family, and so I won't be available most of the time. There might be an evening or something that I might be available for you guys in that area. If you want to go do something and hang out, I'll let you know what I'm doing. But otherwise, I'll be hanging out with my folks and my brother. Yes. People who are lined up. There's another PhD individual. There's another individual with a PhD who wants to do a Dialectica. He specializes in what? Plant evolution, I think. But he'll be out of the country, and so that might not happen until the new year when I get back over here. Yeah, not much I can do about that, because I need a weekend off to do visa stuff and go Christmas shopping and stuff like that. What else? And then Jasper has mentioned, and I'm sure most of you have seen in the comments, that he wants to do like a round two. The Professor Anton has mentioned a round two on the topic of capitalism, and that would be cool. I know people are interested in that. I certainly would be. And James, of course, as well, even though I dogged on him in an earlier video. I'm always open to it. And I do want to say this. and then I'll wrap this up. Pardon for making this so long. That last Dialectica that you're all jumping up and down on with the comments flying everywhere was actually started by one viewer, okay? And I can't stress this enough. Actually, I pronounced his name wrong in the Dialectica. I apologize for that. His name's the Prodigy, not the Prophecy. That's another screen name sorry, there is a reason for that, but it's an unfortunate mistake. So the Prodigy just called out Jasper, sort of on his behalf, my behalf, I don't know. He called out Jasper, and it started. And it really doesn't take any more than that for someone to spontaneously challenge someone and say, you should go on Dialectica, you son of a... He didn't say that, and you don't need to either, but you get what I'm saying. And you may very well be just one text comment away from seeing the person of your choice on this side of the Dialectica screen. Yeah, if you want that to happen, then put a bug in someone's ear. That's how it's maintained. Like, really, I could turn this into a subscriber campaign where I go out and I try to challenge as many big guys as I want, but that's not really interesting to me. Every response I've received from a large subscriber has been more or less of the meh kind of quality, which is not satisfying at all. What's much more stimulating, much more interesting, are people who are not so wrapped up in their subscriber count and are really interested in the ideas. And those are the people who I like to have on a Dialectica, and perhaps you do as well. So this was too long. I apologize for that, and we'll see you around, guys. Take care.